Welcome back to RuralVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and we're on the live show Monday morning, 9 a.m. And I've tried to start this thing three times, and it didn't seem to work, but now it seems to be. I think YouTube changed my server keys, and so now it seems to be working. Okay, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being patient. It took me a couple minutes there to figure that out. Just checking the different settings. You got these different codes you put into the software that says who you are and where you're coming from and where to go and that kind of stuff. And so one of those they update it. Yeah, see you now, Luke. Thanks, Lonely Prepper Homestead, Off Grid Arizona. Thanks, there he is. Thanks, guys. Okay, so today I want to give some land away, and just a basic piece of land. Maybe it has a street, maybe it has a power line. I'm sure it gets some trees, and just a basic piece of land. So towards the end of the show, I'll ask a simple question. If you answer that question, I'll give you a piece of land. You gotta have not won before, and you've gotta not be working with me or for me in some regard. A lot of people are doing. I'm doing mailers with different people. I'm doing finance with other people and paper. Doing different deals with different people, right? So if you're not involved in those deals, that's great. You're qualified for some free land. I wanted to talk about kind of a state of the union of advertising land in today's markets from my point of view, and I'd like to learn from you guys if you have anything to say on where to advertise vacant land, how to advertise vacant land, what could be better. I want to improve the what we've got going here, and I want to make it better without losing quality, losing faith and trustfulness and all those kinds of things. So and if we get through that, I wanted to look at the inventory on the website. I wanted to go through different properties that have come onto the website recently that we haven't talked about yet. And so let's jump into it. I put together a list of different places to advertise vacant land, and it kept growing and growing and growing before the show. And I'm scratching my head like, geez, I've advertised land on all of these things. And sometimes I've got them on all of them, and sometimes I've only got it on some of them. And yeah, so I started this little over 3 years ago, and the idea was you buy land by sending out offers to everybody, like meticulously systemized way, sending out cash offers to people that own a similar kind of asset, being vacant land in this case, and buying the ones that come back and they say, yes, I'll take your offer. And you're like, really? Wow, great. That's 1% of the offers I send out, people accept, or maybe 2%. If it's 5%, I probably offered too much money, right? So I get those properties people say yes to, and then I go put them out on the internet. And the idea is they put them up for sale for half of what other people are charging for a similar kind of asset. And buyers grab them up and take off with them. They don't ask a pile of questions because it's just too good of a deal. And they think they're ripping me off because the prices are so low, but lots of times they don't realize I bought it for way less than that. Everybody wins, right? Everybody's happy. The person that got paid from me is happy. They got the money. They don't have to do much of anything. The person who buys the land from me, they get it at a great deal. They get to look at it. They get to shop it. They get to know a lot more about it than I do before they buy it. And I provide a bunch of information about the land, as much as I can come up with on a regular course basis without going out there and really testing it and stuff. And sometimes I add information about zoning and what you can and can't use the land for, from my understanding, even though I'm not a lawyer and I don't really have a legal opinion on that stuff, but just little bits of information I learn along the way. So I think that adds value, and that moves the land. Sometimes I do owner financing, and that helps the buyers even more take off the land and go use it in a shorter notice without having to come up with all the money up front. So when I did this a 3 years ago, there were numerous different websites to choose from. Like landwatch.com was one of my favorites. I could post a bunch of properties on there, and I get the fancy subscription. It was like $500 a month, and I could post unlimited number of properties on there, and they'd get in front of everybody, and people would buy them. That was neat. Even before that, I was doing eBay. It's you could put land on eBay and pay some fees, and they put out there for $1 or something. Everyone outbids everyone else, and it sells. So that was fun too. That was a good way of doing it for the smaller dollar ones. I had half dozen properties for sale in the same area during the same week, like Christmas week, on eBay. and I figured everybody would be home from work and shopping on the internet, and maybe they don't get what they wanted for Christmas, they go buy some land, or they got some money or something, they go buy some land, and half dozen properties in the same area. It just killed the market. It's too many similar properties going through too small of a market. And I started scratching my head and going, eBay sells land, but it's not that deep of a market. Like, you can't sell a lot of land through there at the same time. And I want to do a lot of land at the same time again and again and again and again and again. And so I felt like I was starting to outgrow the envelope of selling land on eBay. You could still sell land on eBay, and you can dribble them through there over time in lots of different areas, especially if you're doing owner financing and you have like bids for down payment, and then you set the payment terms over time, $100, $200, $300 a month or whatever. Over time, you can still sell a lot of land on eBay. And but you get a lot of flaky people. They bid on it and they don't really pay. They don't follow through. You're chasing them, then you're relisting it, and you're chasing the next bidder, and then you're relisting it, and you just sell the same land over and over and over until you get somebody that actually starts paying for it. And so that gets really frustrating. And so that's one of the downfalls of eBay. So let's go back to land.com. I started, or not land.com, land watch. I pulled up a bunch of these websites. I'm going to throw it on the screen instead of my ugly face. Landwatch they're great in a lot of ways. They've got a lot of traffic. A lot of people go to the website. I like the way that you can sort properties. Like when you search for something, let's say 5 acres and 5 acres Arizona or whatever. Let's see what they come up with. Okay, so we got Arizona, and you could like start narrowing in on different parts of Arizona, and you could pick the price that you want to do, and you could zone in on that, and you could sort, slice and dice a lot, right? So that's nice about that website. Another one that was Land and Farm. I used to sell a lot of land on Land and Farm, so I was just pulling it up for this show, and I've just clicked undeveloped land, and it looks like one of my properties is a headline property on there. It's like, oh wow, 20 acres Tucson. How much are they asking? Oh, 44 grand. Hey, that's one of mine. Still got land on there. So Land and Farm is an older school version of a lot of these land websites. They've been around forever. There's still a good trail of people on there that search there and look for land, but they don't have maps, and they're kind of harder to sort through and harder to use. Lands of America came along, and they actually have a map. Like, they've got a map with different locations of the properties, and so that's fun. You can figure out where stuff is on there. And then when I started posting, I had subscriptions to a bunch of these websites, and then this company called CoStar, see these little logos up here, they went and they bought up all these companies. They bought them, and they changed the subscription rates. They started changing things. Like on Landwatch, I could post the property on top of the site, and I could get the most like traffic for that county. I guess because I got the cheapest, best deal in the county, I'd just get it in front of everybody all over that county, and land would sell. It was nice when they started taking those advertising things away. And one company bought up Landwatch, Land and Farm, Lands of America. They have a website called land.com, which doesn't get hardly any traffic. I think Rural Vacant Land gets more traffic than land.com. And they merged them all together, so now you can only get like a subscription to all of them. And they raised the rates on me. Like, I don't even want to talk about the numbers, but multiple times more than what I was paying before for the bits and pieces. They just rolled them up and raised the rates, and it's kind of being like a bully on the block, and just really frustrating. So other websites started coming out, like Landpin, which doesn't have much traffic, but Landpin. I just pulled up Landpin. So Landpin was started by Land Academy guys, and just looking at the featured properties on the front page, there's one of my properties, Luke Smith, and there's some other guys on here, and you can post properties on there for being a member of Land Academy. And I think they let other people post on there too if you pay something. I'm not sure. But if you're a member of Land Academy, you post stuff on there. And I've got a couple leads from there, but not much of any traffic. I like the idea, but they don't have like a proper map that I know of to really show where all the land is. And it makes it hard to go. Let's say you got some place that you want to search for land. You can't just go search that place. It's kind of like a listing, lots of you got to go figure out where all these properties are and compare and contrast. And I think it makes it harder to use. They said they're gonna revamp it and make a better version of that website, and I think they will. They're pretty smart guys. I think they'll just keep improving it and making it better over time, and we'll see what comes out. And yeah, so that's land pin, and then bid for assets. I put a bunch of properties on bid for assets. Bid for assets is mostly known for selling like government properties, like stuff that's back on taxes, and the government takes it away, the county takes it away. So you see these counties going by, county of Nevada, Sconish, something in Washington, Humboldt County. Lots of times these county auctions, you got to put a deposit up ahead of time, $1,000 or $5,000 or something, maybe 10,000 some of them, and then you can bid on the properties that are there. I really like to watch what stuff sells for in those counties on a cash auction like this that has weird terms, like you gotta jump through all the hoops to go after the auction. You don't really get to see the properties and stuff, because then if I know what people are willing to pay cash in these auctions, then I can go offer something less to buy land in those same areas, and I know I could sell it for probably cash auctions in like eBay or something. It's a lot easier to use for more than what this auction's going for. But I still sold a couple properties on here. I don't think it's worth the time it costs for me to post all the properties on bid for assets compared to how many deals I get through there, but I'm still testing it and having a run at it. Yeah, I pulled up eBay. So eBay, if you go to eBay, they've got this real estate section. And if you go to the real estate section, it looks like Arizona, Arkansas. Maybe this is alphabetical or most popular. I'm not sure. But I saw Arkansas. I was just looking before. We got 93 properties in Arkansas on the website right now. And we got 224 properties on rural vacant land that are not in Arkansas. So it'd be nice to like sell off some more of those Arkansas ones. And I was looking at some of these pictures, and these look like they totally just bought them right off the right from the state, and they're putting them up here for not much money. And I mean, you could probably buy the properties off my website or the state and just fill this up with Arkansas. Arkansas's got a lot of land on the market for sale, and really, really cheap stuff. But they had Arizona too. I'm sure you could find good deals for buying land if you're willing to take the time to go shop through here. But same thing, they don't have a map. Like, you can't just see all this stuff on a map and zone in on the area you're looking for. And to me, land is very area specific. Most people are just shopping some certain area, and they want to like zoom in on that area. So here's Sholo. So this is probably Navajo County, and looks like they got a little tiny home built on there, small home. They're asking $9,000. Looks like a brand new sharp one, and simple roof line and stuff. Who knows? They might have bought the land from me and built that on there and then sold it on the website. I don't know. There's lots of land dealers. It doesn't just have to be me. So that's another way. Then there are realtors. You could hire a realtor if you can get their attention and get them to go. Sometimes they'll take pictures of the land if they're right there in the area and tell you more about it and tell you a quote for the area and stuff. Sometimes they know somebody that might want it, might actually buy it, but they charge high fees. But the main thing about the realtor is they get it on the MLS. They get it on the multiple listing service, and that gets spread around all over the place. It goes to other websites like Zillow and Redfin, Realtor.com, and Trulia, and 500 other real estate listing websites I can't even think of. So it'd be nice if you could just skip the realtor and list them on there yourself, right? So what's been happening a lot recently is the flat fee MLS services have been coming around. And so that's really nice for the bigger dollar properties like vacant land. If you're buying land for me and going to resell it or something, or you're in the business of selling land yourself. This is a website that I like. It's called HomeCoin, homecoin.com. It's California based, so you can only really use it for the California properties, but there's similar properties similar websites like this all across the country. Some of them go in multiple areas around the country, and they, so this one charges $95, and you can just skip the realtors, and you can put it all over the place, and it'll go on the MLS sites. And it's not all the MLS sites, but you go through this process, and they let you pick the MLS in the area that they have access to. So they don't have access to all the MLS ones, but they've got access to a good deal of them. And you can pick the one that's probably got the most interest. You can see who the members are and stuff like that. It's very transparent. And it's all online. You can just post it on there. So you could post a house, you could post land. You skip the realtors. You could say if your buyer's agent wants to do the dance and buy the thing, I'll pay 1% or 3% or 5% or whatever. Or you could just say $1. You don't even have to say anything. Put 0 down. You don't have to pay them anything, because a lot of people buy stuff without the realtors too, more than a lot of people know or realize. So that's a really neat website, and there's other ones like that. If you search for flat fee MLS, I've been getting more and more into that for the little bit bigger dollar real estate transactions. Just to warn you, some of the flat fee MLS ones will want you to use their escrow service and charge you on the back end, or they'll want to charge you some fees if no agents show up and you try to pull a transaction off with no agents. They'll step in and be like, oh, we're going to be your agent and we just charge you 1% or 2% or something, which adds up. It's a lot of money, right? It's like, why would you pay the fee and pay an agent? I don't know. So just read the small print on those flat fee MLS services. Make sure it's true flat fee, because if you start seeing the ones that are like $25, $75, $60, whatever, they usually have a lot of other fees somewhere along the way. And $95 seems to be more like it. Some of the states you're paying $200-$300, like in Arizona and New Mexico and stuff. I've been in a couple $100s to get flat fee MLS to work. Or Hawaii or something, but that's those are options out there too. And then, well, let's cover Craigslist. I didn't pull up Craigslist on the website. You guys know what Craigslist looks like. Craigslist, I think it works pretty well if you've got a handful of properties and you're really active at posting and reposting and updating and posting again. And just because I get blacklisted and kicked off there because I post too much similar looking stuff. I mean, it's 4 properties in the same area or something. People think it's the same property and they get all mad, like nobody owns that many properties, and they just they kick me off of there, and I get kicked off and I get kicked off, and it's harder and harder to post stuff. So I kind of feel like I outgrew Craigslist over a while. It's made for, mom and pop, 1 or 2 properties or something. It's a lot easier to post them and get them sold. And then we've got Zillow. Everybody knows Zillow. I probably don't have to show you what Zillow looks like, but I'll pull it up on the screen. I really like their mapping service. I wish they were better at getting properties in the right area. Let's see if I can spell. It's yeah, I totally missed it. Well, okay, so here's just some of the last stuff I pulled up. This is part of California Shelter Cove. So as you move the map around, it lists on the side what's in that box. That's like what's made Zillow so popular from the get-go, in my opinion, is you can look for real estate on the map. Like, they started mapping real estate and showing you where property lines are and mixing in some public data with it, like what the last recorded sale was and some history and stuff. So there's still a lot of cool data. And you can do for sale by owner on Zillow. You don't have to have a real estate agent. Just do for sale by owner. And you can post land on there. You can post houses on there. It doesn't cost anything. And which is, I think, really cool, really neat. And then it gets on their maps. And people will call you and ask you about it. The problem with it is they hide the let's see, let's try this one here. I think this is one of mine. They hide the owner, right? So here's $28,900. Yeah, this is one of my properties. So and it's being fed to Zillow through Bid for Assets. So Bid for Assets is listing this is one of my properties because I put it on Bid for Assets. Bid for Assets put it on Zillow for me. And if I get a flat fee MLS listing for this one, they'll put it on Zillow. They'll put it on a lot of these other websites as well. So lots of times when you post your ads at different websites, they get posted all over the place. But what I wanted to show you is if you go down to the bottom here, and it says listing provided by see listing website source bid for assets. If I was the one who posted it on there and I went through the whole process to post the property on there, it would say listing by owner. It wouldn't say my name, I don't think. Like I'd have to do something special to get my name on there, but it would say owner. And I've always had a hard time getting the listing website on there. They don't like to link it back to my website, but they'll put my phone number on there, and so people can call the phone number. But who looks down here at the bottom hidden part of the page? That's just people that like really know what they're doing, not the greater unwashed and newest buyers. This one is usually they got a bunch of realtors up here at the top, and like they try to get you to call the realtor to go talk about the property, and the realtor would come back to me and try to charge me a fee, and they just get in between for taking a phone call and maybe giving you a tour, maybe not. So if you're buying land, just skip the realtors and go down to owner or lister person of the property and call them instead. It's my opinion. You can do what you want, but that's the idea. So there's Zillow, and then there's the alternative market, which is what I've been coming around to more and more. Stuff like YouTube, what we're doing right now. This is, I think you gain a lot of trust and pass out information really well on YouTube. You educate the buyer, the shopper, to not ask so many questions when they go to buy the land. It makes it a lot easier of a transaction. And it doesn't really cost anything. I mean, yeah, I'm giving land away, but to me, that's nothing priced compared to the advertising of all these other websites. And then there's there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn. Justin De Silva, one of the guys that sells land, he just signed up to realvacantland.com as one of the co-op guys to post his properties on there, and he's done a bunch of listings on Facebook, and he's showing me some of the deals he does on Facebook, and hopefully he doesn't mind me telling you about it. But I mean, he'll pay like $5-10 in advertising on Facebook and get thousands of people looking at the property and get the property sold for like $5-10 worth of advertising, which I think is quite amazing. And I want to do more of that in the future. I want to do more Instagram, and I have like next to no Instagram. I got some ideas on how I want to do Instagram. I just haven't had the time to go implement it. I want to do more YouTube. I want to keep the YouTube flowing like this kind of stuff, and give properties away. I think giving properties away is a good way to get attention, get people to come and listen. And so I think what spurred this is I got a call from these guys this Friday, and I think it's so looking at all the other websites and options to sell land. This is one that just gave me the sales pitch. It's called Land Broker MLS, and I think they're based out of Texas. There are a lot of the people that are behind it are based out of Texas, and they've got this really nice map. It's a classic Google kind of map where you've got, even though it says TerraStride Pro on the side, which has me thinking, it looks like a Google map, but it's TerraStride Pro. Well, it's hiding behind my head. So my website's got Google Maps all over it, which is the same data set that I think these guys use. And Google Maps is charging. They just started charging a bunch of money. Like I've been noticing my rates for views on there is paying about $8 a day right now, and people using my map service. So I'm looking at ways of making that a little more efficient. Maybe if I use TerraStride Pro, which I think in the software that I've got, I could switch out to TerraStride Pro. I think it'd be the same data set with different fee structure or no fee structure, and maybe that's why these guys have done that. And I'm just thinking out loud while I'm seeing this. But so this website, they've got properties spread across the country. Not so many in the Pacific Southwest, which I mean, we have a lot of them there. We could fill in some holes, but they've got a really nice map. As you zoom in on a certain area, the links over here I think change to whoever's got. So the land in your screen starts showing up over here, which I think is really nice. That's a lot like Zillow pioneered and Trulia and other websites copied and got really popular on. But this is all for land. Like it's just land. And so they want to charge like $1,000 a year to get the land listed on here, and then they can feed it to a bunch of other websites. Way cheaper than the CoStar guys. But it's looking at the traffic, and they have like next to no traffic. I mean, I pulled up SimilarWeb Land Broker MLS compared to RuralVacantLand.com, and we've got like twice as much action going on RuralVacantLand.com than these guys have got. But I like their map and I like the way they're set up. So I'm not 100% sure it's really worth paying them the money to go get listed on there versus just trying to build up RuralVacantLand.com and you doing more more social media advertising. So that's what I'm looking at. So I want to hit the comments, I want to hit the chats to see what you guys have to say about this. But like your expressions and your version of shopping all these different kinds of websites for land, what are the pros and the cons? What do you like, what do you hate? Because I'm coming at it from the trying to sell land side and you're coming at it from trying to buy land side or sell. Both sides. I'd like to see what you have to say and what could I do at Rural Vacant Land to make it better. What could I make? How could I make it better? I mean, not just pricing, but I think guys like Justin Da Silva who just signed up, Patricia Zach like signed up a week or two ago. Different people that have signed up recently and throughout time on RuralVacantLand.com. I mean, I charge them $200 a month to post properties on the website, and if they don't sell anything, then I refund their money. Like, you only pay if you sell. I like that kind of pricing plan. I wish I had that kind of pricing plan for listing my land all over the internet, but most of these websites don't care if you sell or not. They just want to get your fees. They don't want to guarantee it. So let's see what guys are saying here. I'm gonna go back and try to catch up. So start out with the live feed stuff. Todd Snyder is saying that sounds like his place is all burnt in the fire. Lost more than I care to remember. Uh-oh. Sorry, Todd. Yeah, these fires are all over the place. A lot of people ask about fires with vacant land, and I don't really care if the land burns down. I mean, it still holds value. And it rains and it comes back soon, but if you got a house on there, it's tough. Let's see. Virginia Price saying, had to evacuate Paradise. So glad to see you take my mind off things. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people are evacuating fire danger places in California. I took my kid fishing yesterday. We didn't take my boat out. We took a party boat out. So there's like indoor cabin and food and everything. It's last minute kind of thing. And so we went out to catch some fish, and a couple of the people on the boat were evacuated from fireplaces in Northern California, and they got their kids and stuff, and they're trying to figure out what to do as they came down to San Diego. So they went fishing. I thought that was pretty cool. Air quality is really nice down here. No fire danger right now. I mean, it could happen anytime, but it's the winds start changing directions and the fire whips up, dries out, and whips up. So you always have to watch out. A lot of people saying hi, good morning, guys. Revolutionary Hippies saying Instagram would be nice to advertise. Yeah, so I really like Instagram, and I use Instagram a lot to see what kind of pictures people are taking in areas and what stuff looks like, and look at inspirational pictures. I think it works really well. So I would like to throw my hat into Instagram ring. I would like to syndicate a lot of pictures from the areas that I have land and the kinds of like cabins, small cabin building, cabin building, cabin in the woods, small home, tiny home kinds of stuff, and group it together, my favorite pictures I see out there, and every now and then throw in some live videos, and I think that would be a lot of fun. So that's what I'd like to do on Instagram. I don't know if anyone would follow or not, but I'd like to do that. Lisa, first name Sap, looking for land, Williams, Arizona. Yeah, so we've got a map. If you go to ruralvacantland.com and you zoom in on that part of Arizona, you can see what we've got up for sale, what we've currently got. And let me see if I can get this chat to work a little better. I'm doing too many things on one screen. And see, sound interesting, you know what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Jessica P. Buyer financing, please, Luke. Yeah, there you go. Not sure. Reach out to YouTubers. Homemade Home is an AR. He had a kid. Just you could deed him some land. He has 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, Homemade Home. I think I've seen that one. He built a big wraparound porch. Like he started with some footers, cement block footers, and he put um, floor joists across, and he did like 2-story home. If I'm thinking of the right guy, I really like that one. He was clearing the land, was tractor and stuff. Guys saying hello. Yeah, but I like the idea of reaching out to other YouTubers and sharing information and high-fiving along the way and kind of share an audience and stuff like that. I think that's a great way to advertise and get more exposure. I see other YouTubers doing that in multiple different topics, whether it's woodworking or building or creating, in lots of ways. Roxy C is saying, never heard of that site. I must be looking at your site only. Thanks, Roxy. There's a lot of sites out there to look for land. I mean, Land Broker MLS is like, I think, pretty unheard of, but they're trying to come around and be the next, Land Watch or land.com or Land to Farm. And I think they've got an awesome map, and I think they've got the setup. If they get more land on there from the different land sellers, I think it won't be very hard for them to come around and topple those bigger websites. At the same time, the bigger websites that are charging a fortune to keep people on there will probably give them a run for their money. They'll probably up their game. They'll probably improve their displays, their widgets, and whatever to make their websites better. But hopefully I can do some of that along the way too. But I think the best competition is just having the best land at the best prices and try to keep the customer service as best as I possibly can. I'm failing at that because I can't keep up with all the phone calls, guys. Like, there's just too many phone calls. I can't answer them all. I try to answer as many as I can. I call people back as much as I can. I can't keep up. People keep getting mad at me because I don't call them back fast enough. And, that's part of having this live feed every Monday morning. Throw questions in here. We'll try to get them answered in front of everybody and kill 5, 10, 20 phone calls at one time, right? Close to the surrounding areas. Is there ever anything close to or in the surrounding areas of South Dakota? That's a good question. So a lot of the counties in South Dakota don't have that many people in them. They don't have a whole lot of data sets that are easy to go mine for information to send offers. And a lot of the land is very homogeneous. Not all of South Dakota, but a lot of it's farming land. The farmers know like what the land trades for. It's like $1,500 an acre or whatever their price is, right? If you offer them $1,200 an acre, they're going to be like, no, it sells for $1,500 an acre. If you offer them $1,600 an acre, they sell you their whole farm. Like, it's really price sensitive within a small band, so there's not a lot of room for a guy like me to go make money on that. I'd have to put up massive capital to do it in large scale to take that small margin out of each deal. And I don't have massive capital, so with small amounts of capital, I need to go after the eccentric land, the stuff in the middle of nowhere, the stuff out in the mountains, the stuff off the side that is more artistic, unique, weird, off the shelf stuff that you could argue the price on could be way down there or way up there. There's more room for error to buy and sell. So that's why I don't see South Dakota coming out of the land dealers. Yeah, so Todd Snyder's saying website design is huge when wanting continuous traffic. Yeah, I just want to make it as best as possible. Jamie Ross, well, I have been watching for some time. They always put your listings down at bottom of search engine, or when you type in you cheap easy land, they redirect to someone else that has nothing to do. I honestly think your prices are asking are great. For a person in my shoes, it works for me since I support 5 people on less than $1,000. Yeah, so you need low price land. Jessica P saying, yeah, I think Luke has great prices too. And I think that's a cool thing, a neat thing about land is the cost of it's enough that people shop around. Like, they go look in multiple different places for what they're buying. They don't just look at Walmart's website and say, okay, I'm done with it. You know, a lot of the products you buy at Walmart or Amazon, you don't go shop 500 other websites trying to find a better deal, or stores and other things. I mean, maybe some, maybe if it's a couple $100 product, but not the $30 product, you pretty much just hang it up and you're done with it, right? But when you're talking about a couple $1,000s or tens of thousands of dollars or $100,000 or something, you darn well better be doing your shopping. And I think that leaves and it opens up an opportunity in the real estate markets for people to come around to a little humble website like mine and find stuff and do it without me having to pay crazy advertising to get people there that probably shouldn't be there in the first place. Jamie Ross, Luke is a good person. He bends over backwards to help. Thanks, Jamie. I try so hard. Lots of people I think would say the same thing. Some people I have a hard time keeping up with. Let's see. Love Bug saying, Roxy, just look at it as rent to own. At least you'll own it. Nice. They have been searching on your site is Northeast Arizona around Snowflake, Show Low, and Concho and the White Mountains area. Yeah, so I like that area. You're going to be shopping Navajo County and Apache County. Concho's in Apache County, Show Low, and a lot of the rest of that's in the Navajo County. It's southern ends of those counties before you get into the real thick of the mountains. A lot of it's 4, 5, 6,000 foot. I've got a bunch of properties in there. I'm going to try to make more maps and more videos about the ones that I have. I made a couple last week and they've been rolling out over the last couple days. You probably have seen some of those videos, but I'm going to try to get some more of them going, and maybe I can get the right property in front of you. Jamie Ross, even to rent to own, you need good down payment. Not always. I mean, some of the deals start with pretty low down payments on these properties. DD Love 2001, cheap land, yes, you own it. Guy's home is where you make it, living debt free. Wow, how amazing is that? Yeah, agree with you. Yep. Luke, I have checked Craigslist, but a lot of what's there is crazy. Yeah, because anybody can post stuff. I mean, you really got to do your due diligence. You don't know who you're dealing with too, right? Like, it's the people don't have reviews. I mean, like this YouTube stuff. I mean, if somebody hates me and they don't like what's going on, they get ripped off and whatever else, I mean, they can just put nasty comments all over the place and kill my business. I sure hope nobody does that. But a lot of the land dealers that are on Craigslist, there's no checks and balances. Like, you don't know who you're dealing with. Same with a lot of the realtors and a lot of places you buy land. There's just no recourse. I use Zillow. Prices are cheaper. Yeah, sometimes Zillow works pretty well. You see some for sale by owner stuff, but the problem with Zillow is there's a lot of like listings that have been on there for 10 years. I don't even know how they've been on there that long. You know, and it's like a listing that is just a ghost. It's like a ghost in the machine, and there's nobody there to answer the phone. There's no, you know, something's weird. It's just like bad data. There's bad data listings. I wish Zillow would clean up a lot of their bad data listings. The old ones, just expire them out. If the people don't answer the phone, don't check in, don't update it for a certain amount of time, zing, take it off of there. Say goodbye. And they do have information sometimes, yeah. Roxy C, I've called your number a few times, asked to speak to you personally, but I've never spoke to you yet. Sorry about that, Roxy. I take a lot of calls. I return a lot of them. I'll if I see you in the queue, I'll try to call you back. I don't know what your actual name is compared to Roxy C. I wonder if that lines up with anything. Jessica P, yeah, Facebook would be great advertising. Larry Harpster, what is the number to call you? Yeah, so I mean, the number on the website works, or my cell phone is 760-274-7711. That's like the same number my mom and my wife call. I mean, just give me a call. Looking for land under land patent. There you go. If you go to, let's jump onto the internet. So there's a part of the government that I want to say no longer exists, but it got merged in. So let's go. Totally butchering the spelling of Bureau of Land Management. Okay, Bureau of Land Management website. And this is U.S. Department of Agriculture, I believe is what it's called. Oh, Department of the Interior. I don't know. When you look at their deeds, it says Department of Agriculture. But so Bureau of Land Management. And then they've got a piece of this website somewhere in here that I used to know where it was, but it looks, I think they've updated this. It's General Land Office. And it might be easier to just find it by Googling it. But here's land records. Okay, under services is land records. Here we go, General Land Office records. So in here somewhere, here we go. Click here to visit the GLO records website. So we're going to go to the General Land Office website. And land patents. So where was who was it? ATTOVISHNU. Atovishnu, looking for land under land patent. So here's federal land patent. So land patent is like the land being transferred from the government to you. The government's not really doing that so much anymore, hardly anymore at all. So if you look at the ones that have already happened, you can go here to land patents in the area that you're looking at. You go to land patents and you start looking up the area that you want, and you can search documents by location, document type, you know, state, county. You just have to figure out how to go use this search. And you're gonna end up looking at like legal descriptions and stuff to find out the area, like township, range, section, and stuff to hone in on the area that you're looking for. And you can see the land patent on your land. You know, when it was transferred from some president of the United States to the state to somebody to somebody to somebody to you, or it went from like the president of the United States to some guy, and maybe that guy died and his kid died, and then that grandkid transferred over to you or something. I mean, that's 3 steps beyond the patent. Something could have happened along the way, but you can research land patents there, and you can find land that is closest to the land patent, cleanest title you're looking for, and it's public information. You can do it free, and you can do it on your own, and there you go. Let's see. Jessica P is saying send automatic listings to people. Yeah, it's great in theory. So I used to do that a couple years ago on the website. I'd have new listings and I'd send out an email and say, hey, we got this new property. Hey, we got this new property. Hey, we got this new property. And I'd send out a property in California. People in Arizona or Nevada would be like, don't send me these California properties, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, I understand. And then I send one out there for Arizona property. People in California would be like, don't send me these Arizona ones. I only want ones that are in this county, that are this price, that are this elevation, that have this kind of tree on it, that's got a view of this, and the neighbors are this, and the school district is that, and the taxes are below this, and the road has to be at least that, and the water line needs to be this big, and the power line needs to be, it can't be that big. It's got to be smaller, and it's got, you know, on and on and on and on and on, all the things that they want with the land. And I gave up. Like, I can't keep these people happy. It's too many peculiarities to these properties, and the amount of emails that I was sending out, I mean, it started out like 50% of the people would open them, and then it'd be 20%, and then 10%, 6%, 3%. Why am I sending them out if like 3% of the people on the list are actually opening them? I just feel like I'm spamming, and it doesn't. I don't like to get that stuff. I don't want to send it. So it's all over the website. If you want to buy land, go to the website, look at the area you want, look at the price you want, search down to what you want, and start asking questions from there. Yeah, searching via the map is easiest, exactly. You don't want to get bombarded by land all over the place. Will Hannah is saying, how do you acquire land for so cheap? Yeah, so we just send out cash offers. People always need money, right? I mean, I've had all kinds of stories. I dropped my pen down my shirt. There we go. Um, I mean, to send out cash offers. I remember this one lady, she's in Alaska, and she called me back. She said, my truck just broke down, and I got towed to the shop, and it needs a new transmission, and I need to pay for it right now. I need that truck to get to work. I can't, I'm gonna freeze to death out here if I don't. If that truck's not working. I need that truck to work, or else she needs that truck to work. Like, she has no money, and she's got my letter. It's been sitting there a while, and she needs the money. And the land is, I don't remember what the land was. It's like, how fast can you get me the money? Like, how fast can you sign the paperwork, right? And she knows the price that I'm offering is low, and she doesn't care. She needs that money now, like right now. And you could, take the truck story out of there and insert 100,000 other stories that people have why they need money right now, and they're willing to take lower price on their property because they need money right now. It's the same as a pawn shop or the payday loan or all kind, stink bid in the stock market. Same thing. Somebody needs money, you provide them a service. You offer them the money, and you get the land cheaper than most people think is possible. You get it cheap, and then put it up for sale for cheap. And I don't really get to pick and choose who needs the money right now, but so I get all this random land, and I put it up for sale, and then you guys can pick through it, and you can say, I like that one. That's my land. Whereas if you're just sending cash offers out like that, you might get 5 people that say I need money right now. There's only one of those properties you might want. It's hard to do it on a personal basis, but if you do it on a business basis, you can buy a whole bunch of them, sell them to a whole bunch of different people, and everybody's happy. So that's how I get the land so cheap. Maybe offer some climate info for property area. Yeah, so I've done that in the past. Nobody seemed to care. But I thought maybe there'd be an automatic way of like getting the weather for some of these places. What's the current weather? What's the current temperature? What's the rain? What's the average? I haven't found a good way to really do that because a lot of this land isn't really close to a town, and a lot of the weather is tied to some town or airport or wherever where they've got the readings and the history. And but it's a good idea. I like the weather. I also like what kind of stuff you can grow there. I used to put that in the ads. There's just a lot of work to get that in there. Land Sisters. I hope that I can get on your website soon. Got to get some mail out. There you go. Yeah, send out some mail, buy some land, let me know. Get it up for sale. It's saying praying for people dealing with fires. Yeah, we're all praying for people dealing with fires. Just lost house in Malibu. Oh no. I lost my spot in the chat. Someone's saying put a container underground, put all your stuff in there, it'll be safe. Yeah, I've checked on some land in your site around Snowflake. That Rusty listed left message, haven't heard back from him yet. Rusty listed. Dusty maybe. Dusty? I think Dusty Smith has some properties up there. I'll try to make sure he's calling people back. Yeah, collaboration is probably good on all social media platforms. Yeah, keep it simple. Well, you need to hire a receptionist. I got girls answering the phones like crazy hours every day of the week. Yeah, South Dakota is farming pasture land. Luke, look at Maps Right for mapping. I'll have to try that out. Maps Right. I like Google, but they just up their prices something silly. So I gotta pay for like traffic using it. Pay for referrals. I gotta be careful when I'm paying for referrals because there's a bunch of laws around real estate about being a real estate agent, whether you're an agent or not, licensed or not, like if I start paying referral fees, and I'd have to be really careful about that. You don't want to seem like a real estate agent when it comes to selling real estate. Gotta be very careful there. Correction, map right. Okay. Do you have land in Missouri? I think we've had some land in Missouri. Jason Lydiard's had on there. I think, let's just pull up ruralvacantland.com. And, Dave? I think Dave had a couple Missouri properties, if I remember right. So I'm going to jump over to the website. I mean, thanks for asking. That's part of why I make these videos, is sell land, right? So let's see what we got in Missouri. So I'm going to pull up Missouri for sale on ruralvacantland.com. I'm going to filter it. And we've got Taney County, Missouri, 12.9, and Taney County, Missouri, 14.9. This is a neighborhood. I think they want you to build a house. And it's a good looking neighborhood. I mean, sharp houses in this neighborhood. Newer, modern, custom built. Yeah, Mike Hassman. Sorry, I forgot who owned them, but Mike Hassman. They're just hiding behind my head. Mike's up here. So we've got a map. We got the interactive map. Looks like there's a golf course in the back and a nice house next door across the street. Kids might have friends to play with. You know, mailboxes, paved street, like mowed lawns kind of neighborhood. So there's a pair of those on the website right now. Yeah, DD Love 2001. Well, I'm sticking with Luke, saving my moolah and getting my own piece of heaven. Thanks. No one's listing any other places to like post land, sell land. Maybe I got them all covered. I'm sure there's others out there, but those are the main ones that I've run into. And there's others I've paid to list on the website. There's so little traffic, I'm not even bringing them up. Look forward to doing business with you. You seem very compassionate. There you go. Look, people are disabled and have a lot on their shoulders too. I support my daughter and her children, so that way I believe your properties may be the right ones for me. Good. Craigslist a monster to navigate. Yeah, you got to be like on top of it. You got to like have it on your phone, and people post stuff like bling bling in your pocket and whipping it out and shopping that stuff and figuring it out like right on the dot, on the spot, and just living and breathing that market to get the right one that comes through. Got any lots in Arizona near Cali border? I don't believe I do right now. Like the counties that's going to be is Mojave, Yuma, and why can't I think of the county in between? But I know I don't have any in the county in between. Mojave is probably the best bet. They're getting close to the border, but not maybe right on the border. You got the river there. As you get close to the river, the prices go up. A lot of people like to be close to the Colorado River. But there's a bunch of Mojave on the website right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 properties in Mojave. The whole county is relatively close to the border. And this one's 100 miles to Las Vegas. There we go. Robin Banks says, "You got to be patient. It's a lot of us, but only one Luke. I've never called Luke, and he's personally called me twice to get land that I own to me. That I won to me. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Robin. Luke, I want to purchase from you, but you have never made a purchase online. But okay." Tammy W says, "Luke, I want to purchase from you, but have never made a purchase online. How does your buy now button work?" Yeah, great question, Tammy. So let's throw it back on the screen. So the buy now button, there's a website called, or a company. It's a huge company called Stripe. I'll pull them up while I'm talking. Stripe is a massive payment processing company, and They have an about or something on the website. I think they're Dutch. I don't think they're American. They're big. You know, we're in the United States version, but it might be Irish. They're a multinational monster, and their mission is to increase the GDP of the internet. Yeah, they're doing that. They're making it a lot easier for transactions to go through the internet, and trying to think of a good example. So here's some stuff they use. Like Uber uses them, Lyft uses them, Zillow, Amazon. I mean, Amazon uses these guys to process payments. You know, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Spotify, Slack, Kickstarter, Shopify, like National Geographic uses Stripe.com. Payment processes. They've got a couple different payment processing systems you can use, but these are the guys that process payments. They're in the background. So Uber and Lyft, I mean, modern technology ones, they are really good at modern technology of payments. They make it really simple. They cut out stuff like PayPal. PayPal is, I don't know if you guys ever had a problem with PayPal, but I can hardly think of a transaction where I didn't have a problem with PayPal. Like, it seems like there's always something that goes wrong with PayPal. And they get in between and they judge the deals. Like, this person wants their money back. This person's fake, fraudulent, stealing. They're made up. You know, they take your money away from you before you even, whether you don't even have it in the account or not. And I don't know. PayPal is frustrating to work with. But Stripe is a lot easier, and PayPal doesn't allow real estate transactions. Stripe is more open to whatever. And there's a bunch of different programs that allow you to use Stripe. So Stripe has hundreds of ways of using them. And so if we look at like checkout, let's see, somewhere on their website, when I first started researching this, their website's changed. Like, you can see, you can program your own stuff with Stripe to process payments, and Stripe is the background. They get all the information, like credit card information and stuff, and they've got the security, they've got the problems. Like, my website got hacked the other day, a couple weeks ago. None of the payment information is on my website. It's just the display. It's like the pictures and the words and stuff describing the properties. All the payment information stuff goes to Stripe. They've got major supercomputers, super security, super safe, right? And they do this for billions and billions and billions of dollars. Massive companies all over the world with teams of lawyers researching this and figuring it out and figuring out the best way and everything. So I'm hopping on their back. The front end of Stripe that I use is called Moonclerk. We'll go to their website too, in case you're interested in using this in your business or something. I mean, I don't make anything off of advertising them, but so Moonclerk, here's their website, moonclerk.com, and they've got look, 6,000 people using Moonclerk. It's not that big of a company, but I use Moonclerk because it's just really easy. Like, less than 5 minutes, you can start accepting payments online, and you can just create this checkout button. You can create little checkout screens and stuff. Here's the same looking checkout right here on the phone that I've got on the website. And so you just fill out your information, create a little form to collect information from people. So I collect stuff like title. What title do you want the property in? You know, what tax address do you want the future taxes to go to? Because I've got to report that to the assessor. What's your contact information in case you have any questions? Just the basic stuff I need to transfer the land to you. And so that checkout collects that information. I get that information. Stripe gets the payment information. They process the payments and then they transfer it to my account. And so it's pretty automated process, checkout process. So it's me doing the paperwork of getting the deed to you. I take that paperwork, I print it up, I take it to the notary, I get it notarized. I'm a notary, but I can't notarize my own stuff. I've got to take it to a different notary and pay them to notarize it and make sure it's me signing it and stuff. I had fingerprints and signatures and photo IDs and all that kind of stuff. And I take that notarized deed and I ship it to, depending on where the property is, I ship it to the county to get it recorded, or I upload it to the county if there's an online system to get it recorded. And that seems to work pretty well. That's the main checkout. So maybe that answers the question for Tammy W. Some people still do it over the phone. They call and they're not comfortable doing it online. And I just enter the stuff into the same payment system for my end. But yeah. So I'm gonna try to skip a little faster. We've been doing this for an hour. Let's see if I can catch up with some questions. I only use Google and PayPal. Never had a problem. Sorry to hear that happened to Luke. Yeah, I mean, when you sell stuff, I mean, people show up with fake. They're just fake. They steal somebody's name and address or their payment information to buy things. Tammy does. Thank you. I feel it's more secure now. Let's see. Only Prepper Homestead. In the early days, I had to pay $500 a month for a financial gateway just so I could accept credit cards on my websites. A lot easier and cheaper now. Yeah, like that. It's come so far. Like I could get cheaper processing through multiple different gateway programs versus Stripe, but Stripe and Moonclerk are just so easy, and I got so many different like plans already running through there. I don't want to switch them over, and I don't really want to be running two different payment systems. And yeah. So how DD Love is saying, so how long after receiving payment does it take for me to begin, I think he's saying begin doing something with the property? I mean, you could do the same day. I mean, just a lot of people will be on the land looking at it, and they'll check out on their phone, and they'll spend the night there. They'll move in that day. It's just the paperwork takes a little while to get to you, but I mean, you check out online, just go for it. Okay, let's see, guys. That's terrible. Or Roxy C is saying that's terrible. I've been a victim twice in my life off of identity theft. Yeah, I mean, it happens. People steal someone else's identity and they buy stuff. I mean, I don't think land is a really good thing to go buy with stolen ID. It's like, good luck taking off with it. It's probably a lot more common to go try to buy a bar of gold or some electronics or something. And there you go. So that's the idea. So I wanted to look at the newest properties that are on the website too. So I think I've caught up with the comments. Thank you everybody for paying attention so long. I didn't think it'd take that long, but that's a good lot of chat. And if I missed something, please reiterate it. If it's important, something I should be hitting that I missed, because I kind of scanned through some of them. So I've got the website up, realvacantland.com, and see if I can just see like the newest one. So I just did everything for sale, newest from oldest, right? So the newest thing that's posted on here is Washoe County, Nevada. Let's see what this is. It says I'm the owner of this one. I don't remember buying this one, but that happens. Let's see. This isn't really set up yet. I don't think I'm an actual owner of this one. I think it's just being copied, and it's like in the middle of being set up. Somebody else owns this one. You can't actually buy it yet. So it's just a listing. It's like just getting started. It shouldn't actually be published, but it is. Patricia Zach. It's got a new one on here. $1,900, Kane County, Utah. This looks like it's in the trees. I got to make a map on this one. It's GPS. Let's take a look at that. See if we can get that to work. way too much stuff open here. Oh, she got some more of these. So she's had a couple of these housing lots that are in these wooded neighborhoods in Kane County, Utah. And the neat thing about these, like, I don't know so much about this neighborhood, but the area is close to a lot of national park. Like, there's just government land all over the place. You can go explore, hike, and tour. And that's one of the beautiful things about Utah is the parks. They're really good at advertising their parks. The last 5 years or something, they did a big push to advertise their parks, and the tourism's gone ballistic, especially since they had the Olympics there. They've really been pushing on parks ever since. Here's Bryce Canyon National Park over here in Bryce Canyon. Just beautiful stuff. Going into the Grand Canyon more down there, I think. But you've got, what's the big one? Zion. Here's Zion. So Bryce Canyon, Zion. You're in between Bryce Canyon and Zion. I'm not sure the roads really work to go straight into them, but just imagine having Zion and Bryce Canyon in your backyard. You know, if you like hiking, that is the place. You could wake up early enough in the morning, go hike some new stuff, come back for dinner, like day after day after day. Just take your backpack, go spend the weekend out in one of these parks, and come back. Like, you hit the off seasons and stuff when no one else is around. You just really get to know the parks and the back entrances and the places to go that a lot of people don't go, and that would be fun. So that's something that's really neat. So $1,900 for a lot. How big is it? Half acre, a little over half an acre in Kane County, Utah. Looks like it's got trees on it. You can go build in between the trees. So that was the second one. We got 10 acres in Los Angeles County for $7,990. Your terms $249 down. This is by Willie Goldberg. Willie's got this one. He's got a bunch of properties on the website. And someone was just saying that you have to put a bunch down to do owner financing. Here's an example of not much down. $249 down payment, $249 a month. So you could go for it on land like this without putting much down. It's 10 acres, pretty good size. Looks like there's roads going to the south and the west of it. And I'll let you guys dig into it some more. It's on the website. 5 acres in Los Angeles County for $8,490. Again, $249 a month. It's by Willie. Let's see. So it looks like it's got a road on the western border of it, maybe a little bit better road on the southeast corner of it to get into the property. These are Southern California. I need to make some better maps on these, so I'll roll through and try to get some more interactive maps up on the website for each one of these properties. I haven't been able to keep up. $249 a month for 29 months, or $5,990. This is for 10 acres in Valencia County, New Mexico. This is Willie again. So Valencia County, New Mexico. Let's see if we get this one. It's just outside of, it's south of Albuquerque. 14 miles to the little town of Belen, and you can get some basic supplies there. Here's a third of an acre in Kern County. I think this might be Patricia again. No, Willie's got this one. $1,490 cash, or $199 down, $199 a month. Looks like there's a road close to there and some dirt trails the last little bit of it. This is Kern County. I mean, third of an acre for less than $1,500. Probably within a good shot of Los Angeles. There's 2 acres in California City for $2,990, or $199 a month, and whole bunch of GPS. It's a lot of GPS for this thing. Is it a weird shape or something? Yeah, it's a weird shape. So there's this neighborhood's California City. A lot of people like to go like dirt biking and stuff around this area. This neighborhood's not very well filled in. There's little roads that come up to them, and then there's trails all over the place. If you like dirt biking, you could put a house out here, or trailer, mobile home, and go for it, and then just go have fun driving around the deserts of the area. It's just a blank slate. You can build everything. You know, do all your own landscaping, and just build everything there. Just start totally fresh. It's California City, $2,990 for another one of those lots, a little over 2 acres. Here's Navajo County, 10 acres for $2,497. Wow, that's cheap. So Dave Ayers, 10 acres for $2,497. So this is northern Arizona. Let's see if we got some ideas of where this is at. So there's a road over here, and this is probably getting down into the Badlands. I've had properties like this in northern Arizona that people that like to collect dinosaur bones bought. Let's pull this up. It might not be super accessible property because it's in, I mean, it might be. I shouldn't say that. I mean, you should go out there and check. But this stuff on top here is flat. So here's a road. Here's a 77. So south of here is Holbrook, Joseph City. So I'm not sure if you go Joseph City North Porter Road out of Joseph City and try to cut over to here, or you come around to 77 then back down. So this darker patch here is flatter stuff. It's got cattle running around on it. And then as you get to the edge, it drops off into the painted desert, and you get these funky colored rocks all over the place. You see how the roads kind of go around it. But I mean, it's beautiful. Funky, wild, trippy, beautiful kind of land. And so if you can get back in there, see if we zoom in on it. Looks like there's some plants growing on it, so it's not like crazy topography, but you get back in there, there's nobody around, nobody's gonna bug you. And there's a lot of dinosaur digs. Some massively expensive or valuable dinosaurs have been dug up in these areas, and numerous guys have told me about them. And they're always looking at these properties trying to figure out what age the rocks are in this formation to see what kind of dinosaur bones there might be in there. They'll buy the property and go dig. They'll spend a summer prospecting it. So let's go back. Just think how cheap that is. It's so cheap. $2,500 for 10 acres. There's another one, $24.97 for 10 acres. Looks like the same kind of land. San Bernardino County, 5 acres for $5,990. So William Goldberg again, $249 down or $249 a month for 29 months if you want to do payments. Let's see. Looks like there's a house like a couple, 2 lots over, a little road. It looks like it needs extending out to the lot. I'm gonna roll through these kind of faster. If I get the time, I'll try to make more informed presentations of them. Here's Mojave County, $1,695 for 1 1/4 acre. This is going to be the stuff that's closer to the California borders, closer to the Colorado River kinds of properties. Andy Barnhart has this one. Looks like there's a wash in part of it, and there's some bushes. Not sure what part of the county this is. This is going to be northern part of the county. Yeah, okay, so it's south of Meadview. Apache, 5 acres. I'm gonna try to go a little faster because this is gonna take forever. But Apache, 5 acres, $2,495. Apache County again, $2,495 for almost 5 acres. There's 3 adjacent lots here, $2,495 for almost 5 acres. Apache County, $2,495 for almost 5 acres again. Kern County, 5 acres for $3,990 with terms $199 down, $199 a month. Edwards, so near almost 10 acres in Edwards, California, probably Edwards Air Force Base area, $5,990. It's pretty cheap for that size property. Some of those have like utilities too. I'm not sure if this one does or not. 2.15 acres, 29 palms. There you go. 5,990. Kern County, 2.5 acres, 3,990. So this is Willie's posting a bunch of properties up here. Pueblo County, Colorado. This one's a little different. $1,095 for quarter acre, almost just shy of a quarter acre. It's Andy Barnhart. Pueblo County, Colorado. All these properties are on ruralvacantland.com since the last time I updated the portfolio here. These just keep feeding in. I think it's been 3 weeks since I've done an update like this on the live calls. One, I missed one we were doing a mailer. San Bernardino County, quarter acre, like in town with utilities and driveways next door and stuff. 40 acres in Navajo County for $15,000. 37 acres in Navajo County for $15,000. $9,899 for 0.46 acres in Los Angeles County. Here's 2.5 acres in El Paso, Texas. 2.25 for 35 grand. I think we got these. I think this is where I left off last time. $35,000 for 2.25 acres. Yeah, so I think those are the ones that have come live and haven't been bought since the last time I did one of these live videos. So, I think it's time to give some land away. Maybe I just update the chat for a sec and then give some land away. Jessica P is saying, Utah, I hear, is beautiful country. I've never been there, though. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like, I've got kids, right? I've got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. And we did a road trip through Utah 2 years ago now. Can't believe it was that long ago. So I guess there's 3 and 5 or whatever the kids were. And but they're pretty small to be in the car doing road trips, right? So my wife and I, we like to look up the little parks and little towns that we go by. You know, lots of times do it on the phone ahead of time, and you look at the town and it's like, oh, it's got a little park or a little school park or a little, you know, middle of town park, some little podunk town. And some of those parks are really fun. They're like old school with like teeter-totters the kids can totally bust their chins open with, or, you know, the old school merry-go-rounds you could spin and go flying off of, not the new California safety anti-get-sued plastic junk from China, but like something that looks like a local welder and a father put together for the park, you know, like a lot more real. They're just good toys. They're a lot more hardy and stuff. A lot of those small town parks are fun to stop by and see. And so we've done road trips around different areas. We've done that in lots of different places. And Utah's got some really cool ones in the little towns you go to. And some of them are amazing. Like, the community really steps in and does some work to the parks. And they do it as a family. They do it as a church event, as a community event, whatever. They've got that passion. They've got that in their community to go for it. And so these parks are really fun to visit with little kids, and they just explore them. It's fun as the parents too. You get out of the car, have a picnic, have a snack, sit on the bench, sit in some shade, whatever. Let the kids run around, and then get back in the car and go to the next one. And they've got a lot of national parks too, like big national, crazy awesome parks, beautiful things to see that should be on your bucket list of stuff to go see. So I highly recommend a good road trip around Utah, maybe even moving there. Yeah, Todd Schneider saying, I grew up in Colorado and Utah is second best. There you go. Zion is the jam. I think it means gem. Can only imagine. Yep, parts of Utah are nice, but you better brew your own beer. Yeah, but they're opening up to those kinds of rules, like in Salt Lake City and stuff. I mean, there's new breweries, like microbreweries coming in, and they're coming around. Yeah, Utah isn't for the drinkers. Wow, 1/4 acre here in Florida, you're looking at 10,000 plus. Yeah, it's always location based. It's not much for down payment. That's good down payment. We're talking about different properties. Luke, you have some of your bigger lots, like 40 acres that you would break up in smaller lots in the Show Low Snowflake Contra area that you would do payments on. Yeah, so I mean, I like breaking them up. The rules keep changing on it, especially in Navajo County. The rules have been changing, um, and it's not as easy to break them up anymore. So I'd rather keep them the way they are. But I mean, let me know if you got something in mind and try to figure it out, or whoever the owner of it is, just ask. If you're a moonshiner and the property is far, far away, you're probably golden. Yeah, for Utah. It's a different culture, right? Like if you spend time in Nevada and then you go over to Utah, it's like night and day. Like there's no gum on the streets, there's no wrappers, no cigarette butts, no graffiti and just trashy, like beer bottles and stuff laying all over the place. They just take care of it more. You feel like you could walk around barefoot. It's so clean, and people are smiling and happy, and they're not falling down drunk and pissing all over the place. I mean, not that that's the case everywhere, but it just don't. It's a different atmosphere. It's neat to have Nevada in the United States, and it's neat to have Utah. And so if you like one or the other, you can choose. You can go and you can pick and choose. Or California or New York or Florida or insert whatever state. They all have something different. I don't think I'm the right one to move to Utah, but I can see the benefits of Utah. There's some cool stuff happening there. And for kids, like they got a new law through there a couple years ago that the kids running around without their parents, in California, people can call Child Protective Services and take the kid away from you. In Utah, they said it's up to the parents to decide what's in danger of the kids or not. I mean, there's pros and cons to that too, but part of me is California's a little too helicopter parent-ish, and the neighbors are gonna call Child Protective Services on you if you let your kid go run around on their own, Let's see. Wish I had money. I'd buy some of these larger properties. I love rock hunting. That would be sweet to have places to dig on your own land. Yeah, no, especially dig up some serious dinosaur bones. Like dig up a dinosaur you could sell for over $1,000,000 or something. I mean, the speculation of that's huge, and that's who buys some of those properties up in the Painted Deserts. Do I sell properties that have mines on them? I mean, maybe, but that's not my specialty. That's totally different sales pitch. Try to catch up. How is it somebody comments on something you say a full minute before I hear you say it? I don't know. Maybe you're on delayed poor internet connection or something. Different Utah jokes going back and forth. Yeah, California is no good for laws. Yeah, exactly. There's pros and cons. I'm just going to play devil's advocate on that one. Like California, for example, let's say you're an employee and the employer wants you to sign a contract that says you're not going to go out on your own and do the same kind of business. You compete with them. Non-compete clause. Most of the rest of the country, as far as I know, that's enforceable. They can take you to court. California, the employer can't take you to court for competing with them. Like you can take off, do your own business, and those contracts are null and void in the state of California because everybody has the right to compete and provide services and products and stuff to the marketplace. And I think some things like that are nice. The backside of that is if I'm the employer, I don't want my employees taking off of my stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons to all these things. Okay, I think I'm caught up with what's there. So I got a question to give some land away. I'm always thinking about this last minute. I should plan ahead. There's a company called CoStar who wrapped up a bunch of these websites that I could post land on, because we were talking about posting land, selling land, where to advertise it, how much it costs, what's the pros and cons. And I was hoping you guys might have something to say, like pros and cons of posting land in different places and how to do it better, and we can improve. I got a couple ideas of improvements, like a different map I could use, map right, instead of the Google Maps, maybe to help on costs. And so CoStar bought up a bunch of these websites that used to be really good to post properties on, and then they upped the rates a lot. And I kind of pick on the websites because they don't really have good maps. Only one of them's got a good map. The Lands of America website's got a good map service on there, but the rest of them don't even have good maps, and they still charge you a bunch to post land on there. So could you name one of the websites that CoStar bought out that's now the corporate, gorilla on the block? It's just trying to take all the money. There's 4 or 5 main ones that they have. If you could name one of those websites, and if you haven't won land before, if you don't work with me or for me, then put it on, post it, answer my basic question of one of the websites that CoStar bought up and raise the rates on advertising something crazy, multiples what it used to be. Yeah, I see some almost answers going by. So let's turn on the screen here. I'm going to put this on the screen. This is my chat as we see it, and let's go through this, figure out, because everyone says, no, mine says first. No, mine's first. So let's see. So I started asking in here somewhere, people are talking about mineral rights in your properties. Yeah, hopefully, but I never really know. The lawyers don't even know for sure. They'll give you an opinion. I think so. So give me some land. Let's see, land.com. So I think this is the first person trying to answer. Vishnu, land.com. I'm not 100% sure they bought land.com. I think they bought the domain and then they built it into a website. But that's one of the CoStar ones. Maybe I should have made my question a little clearer, because they bought Land Watch, Land and Farm, Lands of America. But I think land.com they kind of created. But they bought the domain. I think I'm going to go with that. Someone said mines.com. What is CoStar? Broker Land or Land Pin. These ones aren't right. Land Watch. Josh got the first one that's really hit. Land Watch. They bought farmland. Okay, so I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go with land.com. Vishnu. Hopefully I got that right. I'm going to give you the property because I think you got the best answer first. You're coming in there quick. You probably got the fastest internet connection or something. And everyone else that says mine didn't come in faster, it's because the vagrancy is the internet. This is the one that I'm seeing in the chat that's also goes along with the recorded video. This is the lineup that comes through. So Vishnu, I'm gonna add you to my list, and I'm gonna ask you to email Gilian at ruralvacantland.com and say, I won the land. I would like my title on the property to be, put your title in there, whether it's a trust or a company or your name or you and your spouse or you and your kids or your kid's name or whoever you want to own this land. Hopefully it's something that you can sign off on in case you want to sell it or something someday. And I'm gonna updating my databases here. Thought I had it right in front of me. Okay, I'm gonna write it down instead because I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, so the title, your name, your contact information, your tax address, where you want me to send the deed. I'm gonna have the county send the deed to you. Where do you want them to send future tax bills? And yeah, send all that to Gilian at ruralvacantland.com. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Hopefully that's working. Yeah, Gilian@ruralvacantland.com, and just email it over to her. We'll get it. It'll take me a little bit of time to get you the deed because I got to do the paperwork and there's a process to go through with it. I'm changing the process. Some of you guys might have gotten letters recently about me changing the process. I used to do all the paperwork and get you the deed later on. Now I'm going to ask your permission for the specific property that I'm signing over to you, because the people that I'm doing this with, they just want your permission. So you're going to see what property I'm trying to buy, and if I don't get that one, you'll be getting like letters back from the county and the state and stuff says why we're not getting it, and then we'll try another one or change the process accordingly to try another one, or go after that same one, and we'll do it again and again until we get you a property. And it'd be a cheap property. It's not like I'm not Daddy Warbucks or something, but just a basic one that you could go sell on eBay or Craigslist or any of the other places we talked about today, or on ruralvacantland.com. And that's part of the sales pitch. Maybe it breaks the seal into your first piece of land or your 100th, I don't know. And yeah, have fun with it. Send some pictures someday. Tell us the stories, what you're doing, how the zoning worked or didn't work, or like how hard it was to get a driveway in there, or how easy it was, or you sold it to somebody that moved their grandma and their 5 kids and their kids with kids and everybody else there, and the chickens and the goats, and they made a new homestead and they got rid of the old mortgage or the old rent or the old whatever lifestyle, and they started new. And hopefully they do it on YouTube and share it with us all, and we get to see it and enjoy and watch them make it happen from our homes where we're at, right? So whether that's you doing that or you sell it to somebody who does that, I think either way it could be cool. So thanks everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get off here, try to return some phone calls. I missed a bunch of calls during this video, but I think it's cool that you guys come and ask questions and talk and chime in. Thank you. Talk to you guys later. Bye.